You might know her as the fun and eccentric writer and artist who posts things like this on Instagram. But Rinny Perkins is getting even realer with her new book, Not Everyone's Going to Like You. Rinny's sharing how she cultivated her self-confidence and overcame something many of us struggle with, people-pleasing. This is Advocate Now. Well, Rinny, thank you so much for being here. And I want to start off with your new book, Not Everyone's Going to Like You. Tell us about the book and what inspired you to write it.
Okay, so the book was really just inspired by a lifetime of people pleasing, right? Like constantly trying to validate yourself in spaces that were built to exclude you, people that look like you, people that aren't the majority. That was really just like the core reason like why I created the book, just based off that alone.
Well, it is pretty clear that you have this unshakable confidence. A lot of people do struggle with people-pleasing patterns and having this need for other people's approval. How were you able to shift out of that and cultivate a strong relationship with yourself?
Okay, it's a great question. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm a work in progress, okay? It's like some days I'm up, some days I'm down. Like some days I can be so forthcoming with myself and just like affirmative and assertive about who I am. But then there's some days when I'm like, oh my God, do you think that they thought that thing about me when I said that right there? Like it's hard, and we're not static as humans, like we're constantly learning. But one of the things I just kind of have to get comfortable with, I don't know, can I curse? I can curse. But like just not giving about what's going on 9 times out of 10. I mean, I know there's instances where you have to, but for the most part, just kind of moving through the world in a way that you are able to really just like assert yourself as who you are and how you show up. But again, every day is a struggle.
Well, you are pairing writing with visual art. How did all of this begin as a career for you?
When I was a kid, I used to do collages, but as I started building like a career, I started off creating zines. And zines are just a way for me to really carve my own space of getting my voice out. I just felt a lot of time in this space online or IRL in real life. You aren't necessarily heard, especially if you are like me, you are a Black, queer woman, dark skin, so many like marginalized identities don't get the opportunity to like be seen or heard. And so I just wanted to create like a space to where I could like put my voice out there. And so from there, I started just creating artwork that really honed in on like celebrating personhood of people who look like me, people who fit into those identities and like groups that I'm also in community with, and really just like emphasize the fact that we are multifaceted beings with a spectrum of emotions and experiences, and they're all valid.
And Black culture from the 60s and 70s is often infused into your work. Why is that time period so inspiring to you?
Okay, so the 60s and 70s for me is such an integral part of my work because, at least from my understanding and experiences, that signaled the first time in history that Black people were able to like autonomously represent themselves in media and culture, creating things such as like Blaxploitation and the Black is Beautiful and the Black Power movement. Like these were all really strong symbols, I feel, that created, I guess, like a really lasting impression on me. Like when I think about that particular era, like that's the era that I guess embraces so much of like Black culture.
And I also love that you're so open and vulnerable in your work. You've been very open about mental health. Would you say that having those conversations is a key step in shifting the landscape for those who are suffering with their mental health?
Yes, 100%, because at least what I was thinking when I first started opening up about dealing with things like mental health, depression, therapy, like what it means to seek help is just for trying to get rid of the stigma. That's the main thing. There was like a lot of like hush hush. Mental health was this thing that you can tell people about without being seen as an individual that they are going to ostracize from the community. And so I just want to talk about it because it's real. It's everybody goes through something, and you shouldn't have like shame when it comes to getting help, no matter what, no matter if it's therapy, no matter if it's medication. Like people should feel comfortable and valid in seeking out help and mental health care.
And you also explore sex and sexuality a lot in your work. How has your relationship with your sexuality changed, would you say, throughout your life?
As I got to know myself a little bit better and really become comfortable in like what my desires were and like how I should be treated in partnership with someone, I think that really just evolved like my overall like opinions and views on like sexuality and relationships. Once I got comfortable with my own sexuality in terms of like being a queer woman, that also allowed me to navigate like dating differently. I talk a little bit about that in the book. But yeah, like I think overall it's just a matter of like growth. I feel like I mean, dating is still like, especially dating in LA, is still the dumpster. But I am, I'm still happy that I've gotten to a place where I'm really comfortable in like affirming myself when it comes to like seeking out partnership. So yeah.
And that inner growth can really become a source of empowerment, which can then empower others. I mean, is that something that you hope fans gain from your book?
I do hope that people will walk away from the book just really feeling affirmed within themselves, feeling really truly valid when it comes to asserting themselves in whatever part, be it partnership, be it friendships and other relationships with, family, intimate partnerships. And I think that's pretty much really, I mean, also I really just want people to, I guess like the title of the book is Not Everybody's Gonna Like You, right? Not everyone's gonna like you. I really want people to kind of like walk away from that understanding like, yeah, it's okay if people don't like you. I mean, it's okay, but you still can, be valid in your own experience, be valid in who you are, your identity. That doesn't take away from that.
And lastly, any tips for others on how they can also develop their confidence and self-esteem?
Oh, wow. I guess I would say, as again, work in progress. I can only give you so much. I would say, and there's this saying that my late grandmother had, and she would say, nothing beat a failure but a try. So I feel just however you show up, just do it. Just go for it, because you don't gain anything waiting around for anybody else to validate you. So that's the best I got.
That is great advice. And we are all works in progress. You're doing a great job. Rinny, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. Thanks for watching and advocating. For more stories and content like this, visit advocate.com and advocatechannel.com. On tomorrow's episode, intuitive healer and therapist Nadia Lass talks the importance of inner child work.
We have a very loud critical voice in our head that we were not born with. We take it in from societal conditioning, from perhaps critical or nagging parents or teachers or peers. And so our critical voice can be very loud. Inner child healing is about bringing in a more loving, compassionate, caring voice and turning up the volume on that voice so you can turn down the voice on that critical parent.
Tune in tomorrow for that and more.